I've become more excited about telling stories in the theater in the last 5 years because I feel like us gathering together in rooms, in our physical bodies with each other to witness stories is actually kind of the thing that the culture is in danger of losing.
We all file into the dark and we agree to suspend our disbelief for a second. We're all in the same place doing the same thing and celebrating the mess of life.
Storytelling is just like it's probably the oldest art form, and it's beautiful in that it brings everyone together through their differences and their similarities. Everyone can recognize pieces of themselves when they come see a show, and that's wonderful.
I think it's one of the greatest gifts that we have as actors is the ability to share those stories and to find those stories. And we have the ability and the luxury here in Canada to be able to tell those stories to a broader audience, not just an audience of one, but to share those with hundreds, sometimes thousands of people. And that is so important going forward and continuing those histories, those personal histories that often get lost or fall through the cracks, to be able to give them to the next generation and the generation beyond that.
Storytelling has been, I think, part of human nature for hundreds of thousands of years. And the theater is one place where you can still tell stories live. And you, as an audience member, you can still use your imagination, even though you've sort of got a picture up on stage.
And you know, the stories don't just tell us about us, which they do, but the act of storytelling reveals a lot about the storyteller. So we learn about who we are as we tell the story, and we learn about who we are as we hear the story too. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's been since the beginning of time, since cavemen sitting around a fire.
A big reason that I'm an actor is all about storytelling. I think storytelling makes us better as a society as a whole. I think it's a really great way to spread important messages, to educate, and I think it's really good for the human soul.
Theater gets people from many different walks of life to gather together in the same room together and listen to a story.
The experience of hearing an actor inhale before they speak their line, like you don't get to hear someone about to say the thing that they have to say, that the saliva and the teeth coming, you know what I mean? Like you're in it and it's alive, it's in front of you happening, and that, I mean, that's why I love theater, because it's not going to be the same show every night, that we as a collective experience this event tonight together.
Theater works best and is most interesting when it pushes past the kind of safe distance we often have in film and television. And that doesn't mean it has to be like hitting us over the head or but because that can happen through humor. It happens when an actor on stage looks at us and responds to something that occurs in the audience. It happens when we risk telling stories about subject matter that might feel a little dangerous to hear in the presence of other people. Because that's when, for me, theater returns to its roots as ritual.